Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. I just got back from the gym, so I'm all sweaty. I'm just sitting outside the house right now, and then I was like, I'm just gonna record the video because it's on my list of things that I wanted to talk about for fitness and health. And today's video, it's gonna be super short, but I want to talk to you guys about the one thing that has helped me stay fit for the past 10 years. Like the one thing that has helped me keep the weight off for 10 years. And that is, I do not eat just to eat. Now, let me explain what this means. Sometimes you go to an event or you're at someone's house or you're at a restaurant and this sort of like animal brain takes over and you're like, well, I'm at a restaurant, so I need to eat. I'm on vacation, so I need to eat. Someone made it, so I have to eat it. And I stopped doing that a long time ago. I always tell my clients, if your cheesecake doesn't have enough like cream cheese taste, I'm not eating it. If your pound cake doesn't have enough butter, I'm not eating it. If your cookies are dry, I'm not eating it. If your turkey makes me want to choke, I'm not eating it. And I tell them that because there are a lot of things that are just not worth the calories. And I've learned to be very selective about what I'm eating. And what that means is if your cookies are delicious, I'm going to have it, thoroughly enjoy it, and not feel an ounce of guilt about it. If your chicken piccata is great or your mac and cheese is delicious, I'm going to have it and I'm not going to feel 1 ounce of guilt about it. But if it's nasty, I'm not eating it just because it's there. And the same thing goes for restaurants. Sometimes we order something at a restaurant and we feel like we have to eat it all, even though it's not that great, just because we spent money on it. And there are so many different ways that we could donate that food, right? Like you can give it to someone on the street who's homeless. You can save half of it the next day, like give it to someone else, bring it into work or whatever. Or there's just so many things. Give it to a stray dog. Like they would love to have some food if they're starving, right? Of course, provided it doesn't have anything poisonous for animals in it. But this idea that I'm just going to eat to eat, or like I'm going to eat because I'm bored, I'm going to eat because I don't have anything else to do, I cut that out completely. Now, I want to acknowledge that it's easier said than done. I think particularly in social situations, I've shared this with you guys before. People are very judgy. They think they're not, but they are very judgy about what they're looking at your plate. They're looking at what you're ordering. They're seeing if you're eating it. You have to give that up. Like one of the things that I tell my clients a lot too is like, you really have to be self-assured and confident and have a lot of self-respect and dignity and boundaries when you're going to be healthy, because there will be people who comment. And I told you guys, to this day, people, like, I've been doing this for 10 years and to this day, people are still, making comments. I really don't care, because what I'm not going to do is be like you and constantly be on a diet, because I feel pressured every time I go to someone's house or every time I go to a restaurant or every time I go on vacation that I have to overindulge just because it's there. Like there's something called the law of diminishing return. If you guys should all know this, like an economic term, but basically what it says is after a certain amount of whatever, the joy, the pleasure is no longer there. So like after my 20th bite or my 20th Skittle, they're no longer like, oh, so good. At that point, I'm just eating to be eating them. You see what I'm saying? After my 10th like scoop or like spoonful of ice cream, I'm like, okay, that satisfied that craving. Like I don't need to eat 400. Well, after scoop number 20 or spoonful number 20 is disgusting to me, right? It's not even that good. I'm just eating to be eating. So I want you guys to really adopt that mentality. Like I don't eat just to eat. And if I'm going to eat something, it better be amazing and delicious. Like putting things on your plate at someone's house or at a restaurant, or ordering things that are going to be good, and then being able to say, I'm not eating just to eat. Once it's done tasting magnificent, I'm done. That's called eating to satiety, right? And then it's also just called being selective. And so that's something that really helped me, because there was a point where if I wasn't connected to my body, right, not being able to acknowledge when I was like done eating or acknowledge when my hunger signals were off, then I would just keep eating. Like I would just not, there was no like, I would feel guilty because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to eat this so they don't think I don't like it. Girl, I don't care. There's something, my stomach may be smaller than yours. Like, I don't know. So I don't, and I know some people are like, it's rude not to finish your plate. No, it's actually not. In many cultures, like, it's actually a sign of, like, it's okay, right? You can eat 80% of your food or 70% of your food and no one's going to say anything. Only in America do we threaten people with the kids starving in Africa, as a way to manipulate people. And you guys, I have this whole thing about children and forcing them to eat. It's so unhealthy, or like praising children and people for eating, calling them good eaters. That is not good. Oh, you're such a good eater. Oh, wow, you ate a whole pie. That's a red flag. If your child is eating a whole pie, there's something going on there. That's not okay. We should not be praising disordered eating or disordered behavior. And so I always get a little like shiver down my back when I see parents say, like, you have to eat all of your food. You're teaching your child to override their hunger signals, and that they will only get love if they eat. Do you see how that could spiral out of control into adulthood, where you're like, oh, and the thing is like, kids naturally have a really strong sense of hunger unless it's been overridden by the parents. They already have self-control. Like, they just listen to their hunger signals. But we mess it up as parents. We mess it up as people by saying, you have to eat this, or, I'm going to be so upset, or you can't have this unless you eat. Like, your child will come back and eat, but forcing them to like finish a plate, no. So this is where we get that, where we've like created a society where that's like necessary. So anyway, you guys, that is my number one rule. I don't eat just to eat. Some things are not worth the calories. I'm sorry, but they're not. If someone's food is nasty, don't eat it. It's not worth it. And yeah, that's that. I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy this video. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.